Some technical difficulties, but we are back. Alex Kelling at the dish with A.J. Lefton, who drew a walk in his at-bat as he is chased back to first base there by Hartman.
Lefton was able to draw a walk in the top of the inning, right on cue as we were talking about how hot of a hitter he's been and how much he's trying to prove people wrong right now.
Breaking ball barely catches the outside corner for a strike. Kelling didn't like that one. One, two, the count now.
Been some inconsistencies in these strike zones for sure. That one, a lot of Mason fans thought was a little low.
Time is called by Kelling.
And Winnow was set out way outside on that one. Maybe Kelling was able to catch it, mess with his mind a little bit, but that one in there.
A breaking ball from Hartman, and Kelling is frozen at the dish. And that'll bring in Nick Stroud, the second baseman.
Alex Kelling had a pretty good at-bat in the top. And his first at-bat this time, not able to put the bat on the ball at all. Sophomore, he's got a lot of time to improve, but has certainly had a very good year on the varsity level so far. Hoping that doesn't end today.
Fouled out of play there by Stroud. 0-1 count. Lefton leads off first. Stroud, swing and a miss. A changeup there from Hartman.
Hartman's done a really good job tonight of mixing pitches. We saw a lot of fastballs at the start of the game that Mason hitters couldn't catch up to, and now that they're starting to get that velocity, there's some breaking pitches that have caught this Comet team off guard.
That one fouled out of play. That one high on the breaking ball.
That's what battling at-bats can do. 2 strikes on Stroud, was able to foul one off. And that one nowhere close to the zone from Hartman.
That one too far inside. Stroud backs out of the way. 1-2 count. 2-2 count. Payoff. Up and out of the zone, and it's a full count now to the second baseman, Stroud.
Stroud is another guy who expected to break out a little bit this season. Didn't get a lot of varsity playing time last year, but they wanted to rely on him at second base a little bit this year. And defensively, he was consistent all year long. Offensively, there's been ups and downs.
Out of the zone there. And so, Stroud battles back, works the walk, and now Brady Bly, the catcher, will step to the plate.
And this is a huge spot for Bly right now. Game-tying run. He's at the plate now. Does not have a home run this year, but he did have one that he got a hold of earlier in the year over at Comet Stadium that was just a little bit foul. But it's a deep ballpark here in Midland.
Hartman will get the lefty-on-lefty matchup as a mound visit. Stops play.
Talk things over with Hartman. Hartman hasn't run into too many issues so far, or adversity to this point in the game. Bly has a very good batting average.
Kevin West, the center fielder, on deck as Hartman will go to work with runners on first and second. One down in the inning. Bly. That one too high.
Now we're starting to see a little bit of Noah Samuel's earlier struggles now in Hartman. Hasn't thrown a strike in 3 or 4 pitches. And Hartman just has to do a better job of controlling it and keeping that in than Samuel did.
That one too high as well. 2-0 count now. Lebanon coaching staff shouting out some direction to the Louisville commit. Big opportunity for the Comets, trailing 3-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. Warriors reading bunt there. Hartman spins around and looks left and back to second.
As he checked over at second base, Logan Franz, the third baseman, charged in almost as if Bly was going to come around to bunt.
That one too high as well. 3 pitches in the same exact spot from the southpaw, and it's 3-0 now.
Only one out in the inning, too. Just got to look out for that double play ball.
Big opportunity here. That one catches the strike zone. 3-1 now, and we'll see if Bly gets the green light on the 3-1 count.
On a spot as crucial as this, I don't think Bly was looking to do anything with that 3-0 pitch. Just watch it go by. Maybe wait for his pitch.
That one is foul tipped out of the glove of the catcher, Will now. And it is a full count now. Hartman working his way back into this count against the catcher, Bly. With a runner in scoring position and 1 down. Stroud leading off first as well. Bly pops that one straight up into the air, and an infield fly rule is called. So there will be 2 outs in the inning. The catch is made by Cecil, and it'll be up to the center fielder, Kevin West.
There's 2 outs in the inning. Now for Hartman, he can work with a lot more freedom. And what that does, you don't have to worry about any productive outs as well either. There was no one at third in the first place, but now all you have to worry about is the guy at the plate.
Same scenario for the center fielder, West. Breaking ball as he rifles that one down the left field line, but foul.
Seen a couple of those hard hit balls, just a little bit foul from West today. You can tell he's starting to make better contact. Just got to get the timing down.
Oh, 1 count. Left it on second. Stroud leading off first. As Hartman will look left and back.
Yeah, Lefton's dancing around a lot over there at second base, but there's no one really covering. That could be too much of a threat. The second baseman, Hodges, has
West
decently close.
Straight up in the air. Ranging over the second baseman. The first baseman is dropped! 1 run is going to score. It's Lefton from second. And Stroud makes it all the way over to third base. A miscue from the first baseman, Andrew Cleaver, and then Brock Hodges at second. And a run comes in to score. And now it looks like we'll have...
Yeah, we'll get a pinch hitter here now, too. Anthony Sulik was supposed to be coming up to the plate, but here you could see someone, maybe they like Mark Rutherford.
It looks like James Laughlin getting ready to head out to the plate with an opportunity to cut the deficit down to 1 run. A puzzling miscue.
That's a tough one because you would have thought that for sure be an infield fly rule, but with 2 outs, it's not in effect. And we've seen a lot of those high pop-ups from Mason, and a lot of times with the sun where it is right now, you have a feeling that eventually one of those could be trouble. And kudos to the Mason runners for still running hard, running that one out. That's why they have a run. Good job by Lefton. and Stroud gets all the way over to third.
Laughlin, a backup catcher on the Comet roster.
Got a lot of experience starting this year as well. He oftentimes caught Michael Murphy while Bly would catch Samuel Ingarula.
Out of the zone, 2-0.
You know, Bly obviously has a lot of confidence here in James Laughlin coming in and pinch hitting him. But if he can get on, that flips the lineup over to Garula. That's where you start to get some real dangerous hitters.
3-0, up and out of the zone. And the control issues continue for Coleman Hartman.
This is exactly how the at-bat started to Brady Bly. 3 high fastballs. He was able to come back. Hartman was able to come back and win that one.
Out of the zone, a 4-pitch walk to the pitch hitter. And now it's Brendan Garula with the bases loaded. And this is about as good an opportunity as you can get if you're the Comets, as we will have, looks like Sulek's going to re-enter.
Yep, all starters.
For Laughlin.
All starters can re-enter once, so Sulek comes back in, and Laughlin did exactly what he needed to do. Oftentimes, you bring a pinch hitter in, you don't need him to be the hero at all. And a lot of times, you'll have guys come in, swing at ill-advised pitches, but he just looks at 4 balls, and he did exactly what he needed to do, just get on and flip it over to the top of the lineup. Now, Brendan Garula, the team leader in batting average, second in RBI, tied for first in home runs. And he's got the bases loaded with 2 outs.
Breaking ball for a strike.
It's always interesting. It looked like a more aggressive pitch there from Hartman than Laughlin saw at all. Hartman looks like he hasn't missed a beat in terms of control on that pitch.
That one to the left side, tough play, and he'll just step on third. So Lebanon navigates the jam, gets out of the inning unscathed, except Comet's able to scratch across 1. Bases loaded, unable to come through from the senior Brendan Garula. So the Comets cut into the deficit, make the score 3-1 as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Lebanon leading 3-1.
Top of the 5th, Comets were able to get 1 across in the bottom half of last inning and cut the deficit to 2. But they still trail here. Noah Samuel taking the bump once again. This inning will be led off by Cook, top of the lineup for Lebanon. And they were able to scratch 2 across in the 3rd and 1 across in the 4th. Samuel looking to improve on both of those innings. And he's already down on the count to Cook. There's a couple straight in the dirt now. Luckily, no one's on base. That'll be a 3-0 count.
And both pitchers were pretty good in these last 2 innings, has given up 3. And then Hartman didn't get any help from his defense in the bottom half of the 4th. As they go with the breaking ball there on a 3-0 count, it's right in the dirt again.
Yeah, that's 3 straight in the dirt now, and Cook will take first. And another leadoff base runner for Lebanon. Samuel just continuing his command issues, and we're going to have another meeting on the mound.
It looks like, I'm not sure if they're going to go with a substitution here. And it looks like they will. Samuel's day is done, and it's going to be Michael Murphy who takes the mound for the Comets now.
Samuel will go 4 innings pitched tonight, 3 earned runs. Not a terrible performance, but Comets do trail. That'll be the day for Noah Samuel. And here comes Michael Murphy. We'll take a quick break. Murphy here to warm up. Lebanon leads 3-1 at the top of the 5th.
Jordan Kane.
1 on, no out for Lebanon as Comets go to the bullpen. Michael Murphy, regular starter pitcher in the regular season, had an ERA of around 1, a terrific season tonight. They're going to use him out of the pen. It's kind of the whatever you have to do to win in this scenario. Now down 2 runs in an elimination game. That one's bunted foul from Kane. Kane had a big double that started that rally in the 3rd inning for Lebanon.
He had taken the inside pitch from Samuel earlier on down the left field line, putting Lebanon in position to score their first 2 runs of the game.
Another one bunted, hits the press box, and 2 strikes, 2 foul bunts. I'd assume Kane not looking to bunt anymore. He's got an 0-2 count.
And a little changeup, as you said during the break. Coach Bly possibly wanting to go lefty to righty here.
Murphy looks over to first base. Nothing there. Cook's able to slide back in time. This is the first batter that Murphy has faced this game. And he's got him 0-2. Breaking pitch delivery inside and hit him. And it looked a lot to me like Kane stuck his arm inside.
Certainly looked a little questionable there, but you got to do what you got to do. No call there. Doesn't really seem to be any outcry from anybody on the Mason side.
May just be the angle we were at, but I saw your reaction too. Like, he gets first anyway. First and second, no outs. Another jam for the Comets. This time it's Michael Murphy. It's going to have to work out of it. Jack Cecil steps to the plate for the Warriors.
And another big opportunity for Lebanon. Getting runners on early on in the inning with less than 2 outs.
Another opportunity for Lebanon and another opportunity for Cecil as well. He had one earlier where he wasn't able to capitalize, but first pitch tries to bunt that one foul. So Lebanon got a lot of guys who were looking to put down a bunt. Test Mason's infield a little bit. 2 on, no out wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
They try to play situational baseball here with the lead. Not trying to do too much, trying to extend that. When you have these opportunities, that's exactly what you have to do.
The 0-1 catches the inside corner for strike number 2. Cecil doesn't offer. And another 0-2 count. Murphy has him now. That one, strike number 3, swing and a miss. Cecil is sat down. Murphy pulls out his best fastball. And that is the first out of the inning. And they did it in the best way possible. No productivity in that out. And that brings up Ty Beck.
Ty Beck has the biggest hit of the game so far for either squad with that 2-run kind of tweener single that snuck in between the shortstop, center fielder, and left fielder, kind of that Bermuda Triangle out there in shallow left center field that scored the first 2 Lebanon runs.
First pitch to Beck is just a little low for ball number 1. That's the first ball he's thrown since he entered the top half. We are on the top of the 5th now. That one laced down the second base line. Stroud comes over to field, throw on to first in time for out number 2. Runners will move up to second and third. So Beck does his job, but gets the second out of the inning now. 2 in scoring position for Parker Dilhoff.
And Dilhoff was the 3rd run of the game for Lebanon, scoring on the wild pitch in the top of the 4th inning from Noah Samwell that got past Brady Bly. And he's got another opportunity here with second and third, 2 outs. This is exactly the position that Ty Beck was in when he drove in the first 2 runs of the game for Lebanon.
It's that 2-out hitting so crucial and a lot of times can be the difference. And a good job by Bly popping up to grab that first pitch. That one was way high over the head of Dilhoff. That's ball number 1.
And Murphy,
righty power hitter for Lebanon.
And Murphy, not typically a pitcher who struggles with control. We did see that hit by pitch earlier on, and they give him the strike call there on the breaking ball, but Murphy is one of the best controlled pitchers on this team. He's got great command of his fastball and all of his off-speed stuff.
Yeah, like you said, that one caught the outside corner. A lot of Lebanon fans weren't happy with that call, but one now, swung on and missed for strike number 2. A fastball, it just blew by Dilhoff. And those have been Murphy's best swings and misses so far in this inning, have been those fastballs just blowing it by their hitters.
Big opportunity here to get out of this with nothing across the plate. First and second, nobody out.
The 1-2 pitch. That one just a little inside and no strike called. Comet faithful are unhappy about that one. I'm not sure where that one missed.
That certainly looked like it caught a decent amount of the plate, but among the people you can find outraged at that call, head coach Kurt Bly letting the home plate umpire have an earful over that alleged missed call.
Emotions are higher when you are in that spot, but strike number 3 doesn't matter. Murphy strands 2. Comets head to the bottom of the 5th, still down 2, but with some momentum. Bottom of the fifth, one of the last chances Mason will have, down 3-1. But it'll be led off with Jake Hanley, the star first baseman for this Comet squad. Sophomore committed to Indiana University. He'll be playing with Max Johnson, another Comet in a few years. Holtman still in this one for Lebanon. First pitch off the outside corner to Hanley, and you saw that erupt from Mason fans about that one call. Lebanon fans aren't happy about that ball.
It seems like both fan bases have been equally upset by the performance of the home plate umpire today.
There's some consistency in there maybe. That one finds the zone, no question about it. No swing from Hanley, evens the count 1-1. That one's inside, Hanley ahead now, 2-1.
And that one looked like it was down and out of the zone. But when you're a fan, you're always like, well, if they're going to be bad for our team, at least they're bad for the other team as well.
Exactly. Hanley lines that one right of the third baseman. A weird hop, the throw over in time for out number one. A really nice play made by Logan Franz. One at the last second took a weird bounce.
Kind of running out of chances if you're the Comets. You've got this half, and then you've got the bottom of the sixth. And then you can't do anything in the bottom of the sixth. You'll have to deal likely with Hartman in the bottom of the seventh.
So here's Murphy. Just took the mound for the Comets. We'll see what he can do at the plate now with one out and no one on. Trying to get a rally started.
Winner of this game gets the Crusaders of Moeller tomorrow, the #1 seed in the region.
Yeah, they won earlier today by a score of 4-0 over the Fairfield Indians.
One of the top teams in the entire country. Moeller's been a juggernaut all season long. I think a lot of people were kind of looking forward to that, possibly looking ahead, maybe to that Mason-Moeller matchup, possibly a few players on this team for the Comets looking ahead to that possible matchup tomorrow. And it's come back to bite them in this one as they're trailing Lebanon 3-1.
I'm trying to have something to say about that. It's a 3-1 count now on Murphy. A ball and then a strike. Murphy now has a hitter's count, but Hartman has done a really good job of getting down in counts but still working to win the at-bat, but he does lose this one. Michael Murphy takes first base with a walk. Hartman has had his fair share of walks issued tonight. And here's a hot hitter for Comets, A.J. Lefton, with one on and one out.
And this is why Lefton was put in this position. As we talked about throughout this broadcast, his hitting as of late has really been an asset for the Mason Comets, and you could really use some production from him right now.
Taking his time, Hartman first delivery to Lefton. Little high, but catches the strike zone for strike number one. That one just inside.
Alex Kelling on deck for the Comets, the 5-hole hitter. He made some good contact earlier in this game, lined out to the center fielder.
Yeah, with anyone on, that's a big spot for a sophomore to be in. But now at the plate is a senior, A.J. Lefton. He's had a lot of varsity experience on the plate, or at the plate and on the mound. Committed to Thomas Jefferson University to play baseball next year.
That's a good look at breaking ball there from Hartman.
Strike two in there, 1-2 count now on Lefton. He has to look at another one. And there's that mixing pitch as we talked about at Hartman. The 1-2, that one's lined into the sky on the run. Right fielder comes over to make the catch. And Murphy will stay at first. So out number 2, Lefton is retired. 2 out, 1 on now for Alex Kelling.
A good piece of hitting there from Lefton. Lining that ball opposite field, getting some air under it. Too much air. However, Dilhoff able to range over and make that play. And once again, Lebanon looking like they're going to evade any trouble here.
Kelling looks at strike number 1 now. He's in left field today. He's played second base and shortstop this season as well. Very good defensively. check swing, doesn't matter. Umpire rules a strike anyway. And Kelly quickly down now 0-2. Another fastball there from Hartman.
And he's really settled in. Hartman.
The 0-2. That one's in the dirt. A good job by Will now to block it and keep it in front of him.
We saw last inning Hartman had some troubles with his control, walked a few batters. The fastball was a little bit out of control, up and out of the zone, but he's got it under control in this inning, and that breaking ball has been fantastic for him all game long.
The 1-2 fastball in there on the bottom part of the zone. That's how Hartman gets out of the inning. One on, no one across for the Comets in the bottom of the fifth. They only have 2 chances left to try to come back for this 3-1 deficit heading into the sixth.
Top of the sixth inning here from Midland Baseball Complex at Joe Hayden Field, as Lebanon still holds a 3-1 lead over the 2-seeded Comets, as Colton Hartman now will get a chance to help himself here, facing the righty Michael Murphy, coming on in relief of Noah Samuel last inning, and that one is up and out of the zone.
And Mace only has 2 more chances. Crucial inning here for Murphy, and Hartman has a chance to really help himself out, like you mentioned, do some damage, break that lead open a little bit, or start a rally.
That's a good look-at pitch there from Murphy. Catches the strike zone to even the count at 1.
Murphy's working quickly now. You can tell he's got a little more confidence in him. But like you said, he doesn't struggle with command issues too much.
And he plunks Hartman there. Fastball veered too far inside, and Hartman will head down to first base, and it'll now be Logan Franz, the third baseman.
That's interesting. Murphy's only thrown 2 balls today, but that's now 2 hit batsmen. And they're going to go over, check in on Hartman, make sure he's okay. A pinch runner.
And not putting him in harm's way anymore after that situation.
And he's the most valuable player on the field right now for the Warriors, without a doubt. They need 2 more innings from him. And here's Logan Franz, who's had a beautiful day defensively over at third base. He's had some tough plays to make, but he's made them every time.
Now batting the third baseman, number 17, Logan France.
France, who's had a couple nice plays at third base today, and he got too far off first, and he's safe. Hanley with a poor tag there, and they had him hung up in between first and second, but Hanley unable to make the tag.
That was going to be a close play. Hanley had to charge in because of the bunt attempt there from Franz, and the pinch runner thought he could give himself a little more space. Hanley couldn't get back in time.
Jesse Dunlap diving back in on the pickoff attempt there from Michael Murphy. A missed opportunity for the Comets. Bunt coverage from the third baseman left in. Franz will square. Fouls it to the backstop.
This is the fourth batter now, and it's only the second inning Murphy's pitched. The fourth batter now that's tried to bunt on Michael Murphy, and none of them have had success yet. Bunting, a lot of them into foul territory. They just haven't been able to read Murphy very well yet, and it's hard to bunt when you can't read their pitches well.
Diving back in is Dunlap once again.
Now Dunlap's got a lot of speed. Obviously, they chose him as a pinch runner.
Cleaver on deck for 11, and that one fouled out of play. Count is 0-2 to the third baseman.
At Dunlap, speed is only half a base running, though. A lot of it's IQ as well. And almost made a huge mistake IQ-wise over at first base, getting too far off the bag. Luckily, was able to make it just in time.
Pitch from Murphy. Breaking ball that didn't break. 1-2 now the count. Mikey Statzer entering the game in left field for the Comets, replacing Kelling.
Kelling has a couple of strikeouts looking today. I'm not sure what they're going to do with that lineup. Statzer only has a few at-bats on the year. He's often one of those guys that they bring in, or they start, but DH form in the field when someone like Rula or Murphy pitches.
Breaking ball on the outside corner, and that was beautiful from this junior righty.
You see a lot of strikeouts in high school, which is why some of these jams are a little easier to get out of for pitchers, but you just have to credit the pitchers. We've seen a lot of that from all three pitchers we've seen today. Samuel, Murphy for Mason, and Colton Hartman for Lebanon. And when you can get outs like that, when there's runners on without getting the runners over or getting the runners in, that's huge.
Cleaver squares, up in the air, left in. Not able to make the play.
There was nothing there from left, and he had a nice charge on it, but another foul bunt for Lebanon.
Lebanon executed one bunt very well earlier on in this game. Not able to execute like they've wanted to since that. And an 0-1 count to Cleaver, with Dunlap leading off first. Swing and a miss.
Murphy's not messing around a whole lot. He's working efficiently, and he's using his fastball effectively, putting it in some really good spots. You combine those two things, just got to make sure you don't give up a huge mistake.
That's a swing and a miss on the breaking ball there from Murphy on 3 pitches. Cleaver is retired. And it'll be Brock Hodges, the second baseman.
Yeah, lucky for Murphy, he's facing the bottom of this Lebanon lineup, who still has a lot of power, but the contact far today has not been up to par. It's been less than stellar.
Inside and high to the second baseman. Top of the order on deck. Cook for the Warriors.
It's a big out because you do not want to turn the lineup over to the top with Brady Cook.
On the ground, left side. Tough play for Sulak. Got him. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Comets, a scoreless frame as they will look to put some runs across. 3-1 lead for the Warriors.
The top of the 6th.
Bottom of the 6th inning here at the Midland Baseball Complex and Joe Hayden Field as the Lebanon Warriors with a 3-1 lead over the Comets. New pitcher for the Warriors as Jack Cecil enters the game after starting at shortstop after the injury on the hit by pitch to their starting pitcher, Colton Hartman. And Nick Stroud will go to battle against the righty.
If you're the Comets, you got to capitalize.
That one's hit high to left field. Playable, and the catch is made out in left field by Jordan Kane. 1 out in the inning.
A first pitch Cecil throws. It made very good contact. It's not quite deep enough. It's deep over there in left field here at Joe Hayden Field. And you could tell how aggressive Mason is already with a new pitcher.
The senior catcher, Brady Bly, at the plate. Outside corner, but it misses for ball 1.
And what you can't do if you're Mason is bail out Cecil. Got to make him work at bats.
That one fouled back and out of play.
And the Comets have 2 chances. Looking forward, this is the 7 hitter for Mason. There is 1 out in the inning. If Mason can get one on, that would start the top of the bottom of the 7th with the top of their lineup.
Swing and a foul tip. 2 strikes to Bly. 1-2 count.
Bly had a great year towards the beginning. Made a lot of contact, putting balls where he wants them. But as of late,
1-2 pitch. Off speed from Cecil, and Bly is retired. And the Comets are now down to their final 4 outs.
The center fielder, number 1, Kevin West.
And now the center fielder, Kevin West, stepping in at a big spot here. Outside corner for a strike on the first pitch from Cecil.
Cecil's not messing around. He hasn't thrown the ball yet. Looking a lot like Murphy was when he came in relief.
Attacking the strike zone, that one out of the zone. Count even at 1-1.
And Anthony Sulik is on deck for the Comets, so he was re-entered at the shortstop position.
Another ball there from Cecil, 2-1. Three-1.
Hitters count for West, and like I mentioned, if they can get at least one on, that helps the position in the lineup a little better. Sulik would be in a big spot next.
And a 5-pitch walk there. 4 straight balls from Cecil, and West is aboard. And it's looking like we're going to have another pinch hitter here. Sean Krukenberg emerging from the dugout to replace Anthony Sulek. Krukenberg, a speedy outfielder for the Comets, has got some pop in his bat.
At Krukenberg, it was kind of a surprise when he wasn't in the lineup today. He's the usual 2-hitter, at least recently, for this Comet squad. That's where he hit the last couple of games.
Entering number 29, Sean Krukenberg.
You know, Mason's lineup's going to look a lot different when you have guys like Brendan Grula and Michael Murphy who can pitch and hit, and you DH another spot. But when Samuel comes, you DH the pitcher.
Off to the races. Attempted a stolen base, and he's safe at second.
What a throw from Will now. That was a close play at second, but
a gutsy steal there from Kevin West.
That cannon from Will now. They call that a strike. I was going to say that was a strike. I thought that ball was in the dirt.
It is an 0-1 count. To Krukenberg now with West on second. And now this position for Krukenberg becomes even more impactful if he can find a way to get this ball in the outfield. West with that speed.
Cecil taking extra time to keep West in check at second.
Too far outside there. He's going to throw back behind West, who easily gets back to second. A 1-1 count to Krukenberg. Didn't bite. 2-1. 2-1.
And it's kind of the opposite of Murphy right now. Cecil's thrown some balls, but they've been right around the strike zone, missing nothing terribly.
The 2-1. Krukenberg foul back. Two-two count now.
Krukenberg's got to protect anything close to the zone. You do not want to end another inning with a strikeout looking. Want to at least offer at it.
There it goes to the backstop in the dirt. Will now chases it down. Kevin West to third, and it is a full count with a runner on third base for Sean Krukenberg.
I don't know, we've said that a lot, but 3 balls now on Krukenberg, the top of the lineup. Standing on the on-deck circle is Brendan Grula. He's got a shot at GMC Player of the Year. Two-way player, hitter, and pitcher.
Krukenberg foul tip. Nearly secured there by Wilnow. Couldn't quite squeeze it, and Krukenberg has life.
That's fight there from Sean Krukenberg. He looked behind on that. Looked like there was no way he was going to be able to catch up with it. Does anything he can to make contact.
Out of the zone. Brendan Garula now will step to the plate as the go-ahead run. The tying run reaches on a great at-bat from Sean Krukenberg.
That's two pinch hitters now for the Comets, 2 walks. Doing exactly what they need. And what a spot for the University of Cincinnati commit. By his sophomore year, they'll be a Big 12 school, so a Big 12 baseball player.
Facing Cecil, who started at shortstop today for Lebanon, replacing the injured Colton Hartman. Garula with a big swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch there from Cecil.
Krukenberg's got a lot of speed over at first base as well, so anything in the gaps in the outfield could be deadly. Garula just trying to put anything in play right now.
Too far outside. 1-1 count now.
Cecil's got to be careful, and this is a tough spot. He comes in and gets the first 2 batters out pretty easily. But ever since, you know, sometimes when you start throwing your first, second balls and start to lose control a little bit.
Breaking ball hits Garula, and the bases are loaded.
And here's the man, Jake Hanley. Only a sophomore, but he does have some experience in this spot. He is one of the best hitters in the GMC. Last year led the league in RBI. This year, an over 300 batting average. Couple home runs on the year, a lot of power.
A mound visit for Lebanon now, who found themselves in a position with 2 outs and nobody on base. Kevin West able to work the walk. Same with Krukenberg. And now you've got Jake Hanley, one of the top lefty hitters, as you said, in the GMC. Possibly the best power hitter, pure power hitter on this Comet roster, and he's going to get an opportunity to face a righty in Jack Cecil in the biggest spot of the season so far for the Comets.
It has not been his night. He's got some to make up for, a couple of strikeouts.
First pitch up the middle. Play is bobbled. Safe at second base.
A run will score, Kevin West. And some defensive miscues from Lebanon are keeping Mason in this game.
Brock Hodges, who had a tough time on a pop-up that cost the Comets their first run of the game. Unable to handle the ground ball there from Hanley in time. Garula hustling out the play. Able to get to second base and prolong the inning. And now Michael Murphy, who already has a hit in this game. This is the person that you want up in this position if you're the Comets with the bases loaded. Out of the zone.
And we talk about Hanley led the league in RBI last year. How about this year? Michael Murphy at the top of the leaderboard, 29 RBI.
Nowhere to put Murphy with the bases loaded. Out of the zone again. No, they call a strike.
Wow. I don't know how much of the plate that caught, but
certainly looked up and out of the zone. Cecil working with some pace now. That one in the same exact spot, but it's called a ball.
This is not the time to get all upset with the umpires, too. Stay in this game. 2-1 count now.
Cecil's 2-1. Outside, 3-1. And this becomes the biggest pitch of the game for either squad.
You have
a ball here, and the game is tied.
You have Cecil facing a power hitter. One ball will tie the game, but you don't want to leave anything across the plate.
Out of the zone, and the Comets have come back to tie it in the bottom of the 6th.
And this run is absolutely started by Kevin West. There are 2 outs in the inning, the bottom of the 6th. It looks like your season is coming to an end, and you work a walk. It was a long at-bat to keep that inning alive. So much credit to Kevin West, who then responds with a stolen base and just started the downfall of the inning for Jack Cecil, and the game's now tied. Are you kidding me? And no hits were needed. There was an error made at second base that got Mason their second run of the game, first run of the inning.
An unbelievable turn of events here in the bottom of the sixth inning as the Comets, on pure patience at the plate, have tied this game. Jesse Dunlap coming in to replace Jack Cecil on the mound, as we will come back with the Comets tying this game 3-3 in the bottom of the sixth. The bases remain loaded. Welcome back to Joe Hayden Field at the at the Midland Baseball Complex. If you're just joining us, the Comets, with 2 outs in the bottom of the sixth, trailed 3-1. Nobody on base. Kevin West worked a walk, was able to steal second, advanced to third on a wild pitch, and then Sean Krukenberg, pinch hitting, reached base, advanced on the walk from Brendan Garula, and then Jake Hanley able to drive in a run on a miscue at second by Brock Hodges, and then a walk worked by Michael Murphy. And that is where we stand with a tie game, as Jesse Dunlap in for the Warriors, replacing Jack Cecil.
And remember when Cecil came into this one, he got 2 outs easy.
Lefton, bloop, down the left field line. Tough play is dropped, and there is life for A.J. Lefton. An infield for the Warriors that has had a tough time today. We saw a dropped pop-up on the right side of the infield between Hodges and Andrew Cleaver, and then an error earlier in the game from the shortstop Cecil, and then that play there from the third baseman Logan Franz, unable to come up with that play. So A.J. Lefton now an opportunity. 1-1 count. Bases loaded.
That's going to be a tough play for Franz to make anyway. Running back, as there's another foul ball from Lefton.
Breaking ball. 1-2. And a big pitch here coming up.
Lefton's got to protect here.
He puts that one on the infield. Dunlap ranging over, makes the catch, and the inning is over. The Comets scratch 2 across the board to tie it as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Lebanon looking to take the lead.
And top of the 7th, Comets just tied it up in the bottom half of the 6th, 3-3 now. It's Brady Cook to lead off the inning, top of the lineup for Lebanon. We've had a crazy one. Mason was able to get 2 runs across on no hits on that last inning. Don Ben Haller for this one along Addison Lenhart. Addison, what have you seen through the first 6?
Well, there hasn't been a ton of hitting going on in this game. All the runs have been on some either Lebanon with 2 on that bloop single, but I mean nothing has gotten past any of the outfielders today. And Comets all 3 runs coming on either walks or errors by the Lebanon infield, catching a few breaks from the second baseman Brock Hodges for the Warriors, who has cost Lebanon a few times in this game. But the pitchers have been sensational for the most part. Some control issues from the relievers for Lebanon in the previous inning.
Cook drills one into the outfield. Raging under it is Kevin West. He had to go way back, but he does make the play for out number 1. Cook is retired, only on 1 pitch from Murphy.
And Kevin West is probably the last outfielder for the Comets you want to hit it anywhere near. One of the best defenders in the entire conference for the Comets. Ranging back and making that play look easy.
Here's Jordan Kane. Swung on and missed. That's strike number 1 from Murphy. Murphy, you can start to tell him their last 2 innings had a lot of confidence. He's pitched 2 innings so far. That one's grounded on the third baseline. The throw, tough throw from Rutherford, who is now there. He makes that play. Mark Rutherford comes into the game in the first play he sees. Makes a nice play to get Kane out. That's why he's committed to Auburn, and there's now 2 out in the inning.
And Rutherford, who has played catcher for a ton of his baseball career, and he's got a cannon over at third base. He rifled that over to his classmate, Jake Hanley. A beautiful play there.
So now Cecil, who was responsible for those 2 runs that let Mason tie it. A filthy pitch on the inside corner for Michael Murphy for strike 1. Cecil didn't offer. And that one's high for ball number 1. That's the first ball Murphy has thrown in this inning.
He's been in control and efficient in his outing today for the Comets.
Another one that's a little high, counts 2-1, and the first time he's been down in an at-bat. He came in relief in the 5th inning, inherited 1 runner on base and no outs, was able to get out of that one and work unscathed through the 6th as well. Here's in the top of the 7th with 2 outs and a 2-1 count. That one just a bit inside. Hitters count now for Jack Cecil.
Murphy got a battle back. I expect him to go back to the fastball here. Cecil, not much of a power threat.
The 3-1 inside corner again, didn't catch it, and that is ball forward at Jack Cecil. Warriors now have a base runner for Ty Beck, the cleanup hitter for Lebanon.
And 2 RBIs in this game for Beck. He's been most of the offense for Lebanon. And you're looking at one of the biggest at-bats of the game offensively for Lebanon so far. We saw a ton of high-pressure at-bats from the Comets in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
First pitch to Beck is off the outside corner again. Murphy now working out of the stretch, having to keep Cecil in check, and a check swing. They're gonna. There's no appeal. I thought he went around. They're gonna appeal it on the second base. Say he didn't go. I thought that looked almost like a full swing. But another ball
Yeah, that looked pretty cut and dry. A 2-0 count now to tie Beck.
And all of a sudden, Murphy is throwing a few balls. The throw over to Hanley to keep Cecil in check, not in time. So it's still a 2-0. That one drilled into the net, foul ball.
I like that pitch a lot there from Murphy. Getting down in the count like that and showing no fear. Rifling a fastball into the strike zone. Challenging the cleanup hitter for the Warriors.
2-1 count now. Murphy was a starter most of this season for this Comet squad. With the days that they play in the playoffs, he was moved to the bullpen. That one's in the dirt. Ball 3.
This is eerily similar to what happened in the bottom half of the 6th inning, with Lebanon retiring the first 2 batters of the inning easily, and then Mason, of course, scratching across those 2 runs, all with 2 outs.
Runner on first, 2 outs, 3-1 count. The offer is fouled off, and we got a full count pitch coming. In a huge spot, couldn't be bigger for Ty Beck.
And
Parker Dilhoff standing on deck, another dangerous hitter for this Lebanon squad.
And the Comets with a lot of momentum right now. You got to think that if they can get out of this with nothing across the plate, they have a very good shot to win it, especially with the lack of depth in this Warrior pitching staff.
The payoff in there, strike number 3, outside corner. Murphy sat him down, and we'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Comets have a chance to walk it off 3-3 here from Midland. Bottom of the 7th, here's the spot for the Comets. Tie game 3-3 in the regional semifinals. This inning will be led off by Alex Kelling. And he looks at strike number 1 on the outside corner. Back on the mound is Dunlap. The 0-1 swung on and missed. 2 filthy breaking balls back-to-back there from Dunlap.
And this is certainly a change in velocity that we saw between Hartman, the starting pitcher for the Warriors, and the 2 relievers that they have brought in after him.
And Kelling lifts one back into center field, getting under it, and will make the play. It is the center fielder, Cook, for out number 1. And Kelling took that one on a ride almost to the warning track. But it's just a long out. And that brings up Nick Stroud.
And that's probably the best hit that the Comets have had all day. And just a nice play from Cook, ranging back under that. We talked about Kevin West and his defensive prowess, ranging back to steal a hit from Cook in the top half of the 7th. And a similar play there, paying back the favor to West's teammate, Alex Kelling.
First pitch to him, to Stroud, is ball 1. And Stroud right at the third baseman who has trouble with it. A late throw, and it gets past him. Stroud will get second base on the air. They're waving him to third. The throw on the way, and it's past him. It's backed up by the right fielder. Stroud will stay at third, excuse me. But miscues on the base paths for the Comets. And there is now a runner on third, with 1 out for Brady Bly.
And what Jordan Kane did right there, backing up that errant throw from the first baseman Cleaver, is saved the season for the Warriors. As Stroud, if that gets past Kane, who was backing up the third baseman there, Stroud almost certainly would have been able to come in to score on that play. A huge mistake by Lebanon, and now Mason with a golden opportunity to steal one.
And there's a mound visit right now, and that play was a grounder right to Franz, who's had a beautiful game at third base all night. He bobbled it, thought he had enough time, but a lot of times when you're rushed like that, you make bad throws like he did there. That got way over the head of the first baseman Cleaver. And that one went all the way to the fence. And this is a kind of a deep backstop, but also a lot of room in between the dugouts and the foul lines here at Midland. So Stroud had time to get all the way to third, and like you mentioned, another bad throw past the third baseman. Luckily, the left fielder, Kane, was there to back it up, but that will be the day for Jesse Dunlap. Lebanon will make another pitching change, and it'll be Parker Dilhoff, the other stud pitcher for Lebanon. And this is a big spot. We'll take a quick break and let Dilhoff warm up. Comets in a big spot to win this one. 3-3, 1 out.
Number 5.
Couple of substitutions. Parker Dilhoff in to pitch, and Mason puts Charlie Raymond, a speedy sophomore, in to run at third base. He's running for Stroud.
And Dilhoff actually started the last game, the district championship against Butler, that got Lebanon to this point through a complete game one-hitter, struck out 14 to get them to this point. So Dilhoff is a formidable opponent here for the Comets.
If you're Lebanon, what you need here is a strikeout, and you're going to put your best strikeout pitcher in Dilhoff. But Mason's got a guy who's really good at making contact, and Brady Bly. And, you know, there are a lot of ways this runner could score with only 1 out.
Lebanon with the depth of the infield in, and then the outfielders also playing extremely shallow.
So here we go, the first pitch. Bly awaiting. The lefty Dilhoff. Swung on and missed. High velocity fastball to Bly. That's strike number 1. There's 0-1 now. Raymond at third. The 0-1. Bly lifts that in the gap. That's caught by the shortstop for out number 2. I thought it had more distance on it than it did. And that'll just act as a Pop up to the shortstop. That's out number 2. Dilhoff only an out away from getting out of this one. A huge out.
Another amazing play there from Cecil. Ranging back, catching that pop-up. If that ball lands, the game is likely over.
Here's Kevin West, another senior in a big spot. Season could end tonight. First pitch to him off the outside corner, ball number 1. On deck is Mark Rutherford, would be another pinch hitter for this Comet team. Actually subbed into third base now. That one is in the dirt. That got away a little bit from Will now, but he was able to keep it. Charlie Raymond at third, didn't budge. Raymond, only a sophomore, getting brought up from the JV team for exactly a moment like this, just for his speed, his base running abilities. And it's a 1-1 count now, or 2-0 count now on Kevin West. That one's low again, 3-0. You got West, a big senior, up, and Auburn commit, and Mark Rutherford on deck. A 3-0 now. That one just off the outside corner. Ball 4 issued to Kevin West. Runners on the corner with 2 outs for the Auburn commit, the sophomore Mark Rutherford.
Not the biggest deal there if you're Dilhoff. Rutherford, who has struggled at times this season, certainly has the pop in the bat to be able to do some damage here. But nothing really affected there with the winning run, standing on third.
Number 8, Mark Rutherford.
Rutherford's first at-bat of the game. He got subbed into third base a couple innings ago. First pitch to him is low for ball number 1. 5 straight balls now from Parker Dilhoff.
And Dilhoff missing mostly low. Will now having to do some work to keep these balls in front of him. Anything to the backstop ends the Warriors' season.
1-0. Rutherford lifts this. Left fielder having to charge in. Going to be a tough play. Catch is made for out number 3. What a play. And left field. Are you kidding me, Kane? He made a terrific play to back up the bad throw to third. And he comes all the way in for that catch. And we're heading to extra innings, free baseball here from Midland Baseball Complex. 3-3. Stay with us for extras.
Welcome back to Joe Hayden Field at the Midland Baseball Complex. Extra baseball here between the Lebanon Warriors and the Mason Comets as Parker Dilhoff, who came on in relief of Jesse Dunlap, will face the righty Murphy and put that one high in the air down the left field line. Rutherford ranging over and making the catch. 1 down on 1 pitch.
Looks a little shaky there for Rutherford over in foul territory. Luckily it was foul territory, but he stumbled a little bit. Caught his footing and made the catch for out number 1.
And Colton Hartman now will step to the plate for the Warriors. started this game on the mound. Left after a hit by pitch, and he pops that one straight up in the air. A.J. Lefton calling off the second baseman Stroud. 2 pitches, 2 outs for the junior Murphy.
Well, it's big for the Comstock first 2 outs, but where has most of this damage from either team come tonight? It's been with 2 outs.
Logan Franz, the third baseman, who nearly made a game-ending error in the bottom half of the 7th inning. A breaking ball misses low.
Yeah, Murphy doesn't want to get too ahead of himself. Those first 2 at-bats ended on the first pitch. Going to have to work a count most likely.
2-0 now the count, outside.
And Logan France was the one who made the error over at third base. Luckily for him, Mason was not able to score on that. But they will have the top of the lineup in the bottom of the 8th.
And a big swing and a miss there from Franz.
There's that fastball that Murphy has been relying on. It still Lebanon hitters have seen it a lot, but it still seems like they haven't even been close to catching up to it.
Popped high in the air towards the backstop, and it lands in play. Comets unable to make the play.
There's a lot of room here between the fences down the first and third base line in foul territory. We saw that on the air last inning.
So Franz will go to work. 2-2 count against the junior Michael Murphy. 2 down in the top of the 8th inning. Extra inning baseball in the regional semifinals. Breaking ball, too high.
Comet fans started celebrating, and you see Murphy even did too. That one may have been a little high. I don't think that was a terrible call, but.
Full count now to the third baseman.
Big spot here for France.
The full count pitch. Low. Go ahead run is on the base paths now for the Warriors.
We have seen a lot of 2-out walks issued in this game so far. Some of them have led to big rallies, some of them have not.
The first baseman, number 11, Andrew Cleaver.
And so now Andrew Cleaver.
He was the one that almost cost him the game on that long throw over to third. And like we said, Kane was there to back it up, and Kane's impressive defensive inning.
A strike there from Murphy. Oh, 1 the count. That one fouled out of play. 0-2. Two down in the inning. Franz, the third baseman for the Warriors, on first. The first baseman, Andrew Cleaver. Murphy gives Franz a look. Got him!
What a job from Michael Murphy, taking in 1 runner and no outs in the top of the 5th. He is now in the 8th without any runs given up. And the Comets have another chance in the bottom 8th coming up. Still 3-3 here from Batavia. Bottom of the 8th for the Comets, and what more could you want? In extras with the top of your lineup and your star hitter, Brendan Garula, leading off the inning. He'll be followed by Jake Hanley and Michael Murphy. All three college-level ball players.
Garula's had a tough day at the plate today. Did reach on a walk in the bottom of the 6th inning where the Comets were able to tie the game after being down as many as 3 runs in this game. And now Garula with an opportunity facing one of the top pitchers on this Lebanon staff.
And he skies one in between the shortstop and left fielder. That one will be made by Cecil. And that's out number 1, just on one pitch.
Garula being aggressive. We've seen a lot of aggressiveness from both of these lineups in this extra frame. Lebanon was retired on the first 2 pitches of the top of the 8th inning.
So here's Hanley. He has a lot of pop in his bat. As only a sophomore, he's a couple home runs on the year. And he had a couple last year as well. First pitch to him is inside for ball 1.
And Dilhoff looks like he's trying to attack with that breaking ball early in the count. He's done that a few times and against the few batters that he's faced.
Pitch number 2 in the dirt for ball 2. A couple of breaking pitches. And we're not able to find the strike zone, and Hanley's ahead now 2-0.
And Hanley's got that smooth lefty swing. We've seen him with some tape measure shots throughout his career.
And that
questionable strike call there.
Just catches the bottom part of the strike zone for strike 1. Bly upset with the inconsistencies. And that one's in the dirt for ball 3. Hitters count for a pretty spectacular hitter, Jake Hanley. Waiting the delivery from Dilhoff. That one catches the bottom part of the zone again, exact same spot. A consistent strike call. And counts full now.
That's a good looking pitch there from Dilhoff. That low outside corner is exactly the strike that every pitcher wants.
The payoff swung on and missed in the dirt. It'll require a throw to first, but it will get there for out number 2. Hanley down on strikes.
That's a good breaking ball there from Parker Dilhoff, the Wichita State baseball commit. He's been sensational for the Warriors all season long. And now he'll have to face one of the top hitters and the top RBI man in the Greater Miami Conference, and Michael Murphy.
Murphy has 3 home runs on the season. He had a walk-off double earlier in the year against Lakota East, and he looks at ball number 1.
We've seen Murphy come through in big spots all season long, even last season, only as a sophomore. Murphy's just one of those players who is made for moments like this.
That's a ball in the dirt. 2-0 count. Fastball fired in there but fouled off. Murphy was able to make contact. Change of velocity there from Dilhoff. It's a 2-1 count now. And that one's in the dirt, almost hit Murphy on the foot. And another hitter's count issued to a Comet batter.
Dilhoff's done a good job of battling back in these situations so far. Did it against Hanley in the last at-bat. Expect a similar approach. Probably a fastball here. Then maybe back to the breaking ball if he can land the strike. And time called there by Murphy.
Lefty on righty, favorable for Murphy, the righty hitter. And that one is high. Ball 4 issued. Another 2-out walk in this matchup. That brings up A.J. Lefton.
Not a ton of power at the plate for Lefton, but he is, as you said, been hitting the ball really well lately, and he had a single earlier on in this game. And that is about as much as you can ask for in a game like this. The Comets only with 2 hits in the entire game, Lebanon with 3. We've seen 5 combined hits from either team. The pitching has been sensational.
Yeah, more combined runs and hits. First delivery to Lefton's inside for ball 1.
It's been kind of that mix between good pitching and bad pitching, as the good pitching has not really, or has shut down the bats of the offenses, but the bad pitching has kind of allowed for some patient hitters and some errors in the field as well.
There was a pickoff move over to first. That was close. Luckily, Murphy was able to get there in time. Still a 1-0 count on Lefton. Thomas Jefferson commit. That one's in there for strike 1. Counts even. Trying to hold Murphy on at first. The 1-1. Breaking ball. They got a check swing from left in the appeal. They say he went. And I didn't. You might be able to tell in the background from some Comet fans. There have been some of those that have went both ways all night long. Not a whole lot of consistency. But
that's always a tough call to make if you're the first base umpire, and Lefton certainly didn't help himself with the way he swung.
1-2 left and able to foul it off. A lot of consistent inconsistencies from tonight. So
a lot of times, even if you're iffy on that check swing, like Lefton kind of ripped his left shoulder out, possibly guided the bat across the plate there, and that's why it was ruled a swing.
That one's inside for 2-2. Count is still even. 2 out, 1 on for Lefton. In the bottom of the 8th. Breaking pitch is lined into right field for a base hit. They're going to hold Murphy at second, but 2 on now for the Comets. And Alex Kelling will come up with a runner in scoring position. If you're Lefton now, it's got to can't get in your head too much.
And Lefton, who we talked about pregame and even throughout this game with the inexperienced hitting cleanup, he's more than lived up to the challenge today. He's had a couple base hits. He's done exactly what Coach Kurt Bly asked him to do in this game, and now he's put the Comets in a position with a base hit here possibly to win the game if Murphy could score from second.
Murphy has decent speed over at second. Check swing, foul ball. There's a first pitch to Kelling.
Nick Stroud on deck for the Comets. He reached on an error in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
That one's in there for strike number 2. Not sure what Kelling's looking for. He's down on the count now. Breaking pitch, that one's lined right at the shortstop. A slow roller, the throw to third. It is a force out, and they got him. Out number 3. And that'll be the inning for the Comets. We head to more free baseball head to the 9th here from Midland Complex.
Welcome back to Joe Hayden Field at the Midland Baseball Complex as we are tied at 3 runs apiece between the Mason Comets and the Lebanon Warriors, as Brock Hodges, the second baseman for the Warriors, will lead off against Michael Murphy, the Comet righty, who has been dominant in his relief of Noah Samel today.
Yeah, there's a 3-3 score, but just not a whole lot of offense overall. Only 5 combined hits, 6 now after that single from Lefton.
Swing and a miss there. 1-1 now the count.
And it was the starting pitching for Lebanon, but the relief pitching for the Comets that have been that best defense.
The 1-1. Breaking ball. Strike. Beautiful pitch there from Murphy. Curved right over the outside corner, and it's 1-2. Hodges chokes up and fouls that one out of play.
Hodges doing a nice job right there. Murphy, last pitch was a very slow breaking ball that was on the top part of the zone, and he comes back with a fastball low, and he was able to foul that off.
Fastball lined out towards second base. The play is made by Stroud. 1 down in the inning.
It was a good play from Stroud. It was hit right at him. It was pretty good contact there from Hodges. Stroud didn't even need to move, though. It was hit fast enough at him that he got it in time and right at him. Throw at first. Here's Brady Cook, and now we're at the top of the lineup for the Warriors. And that hasn't really mattered much for either team. We keep talking about flipping it over to the top, but you don't look at the way either team score and say, oh, that was definitely because the top or the bottom necessarily. Ty Beck, the cleanup hitter, did have 2 RBIs.
1-1 count now on the strike there. One down in the top of the 9th inning. Mason and Lebanon knotted at 3. Breaking ball, strike 2. Beautiful pitch. Cook was frozen.
He wasn't happy with the call either. He thought that was high. Gave a look to the umpire, but it's been a pretty big strike zone all game.
1-2. To the left side, foul.
Rutherford still hustling that one out all the way at the fence. You can just tell how locked in these players are.
And Rutherford, who hasn't played most of this game, coming in with that energy you're always asked to come in with when you're off the bench. Murphy will go to battle. 1-2 again. Gets the center fielder Cook. Center field. West has got to come in on that one, and he's going to let it drop in front of him.
That's a good piece of hitting there from Cook with 2 outs. You got to protect. With 1 out, 2 strikes, excuse me. And now there's 1 on, 1 out.
That's going to bring in Jordan Kane, the left fielder for the Warriors. And the go-ahead run is on first. Lights starting to come on here in Batavia, Ohio, at the Midland Baseball Complex, setting the scene for what will almost certainly be a fantastic finish to this one. 1 down in the inning. Cook leading off. That one lifted, shallow left field. Lefton ranging back will make the catch.
Lefton moved over to shortstop. They take Sulik out. They put Rutherford at third. And not much changes over there for Lefton. Solid defensively and makes the out.
2 down now in the top of the 9th. As that's going to bring in Cecil, who came on in relief of Colton Hartman. Surrendered the runs that tied the game for the Comets in the bottom of the 6th inning. There he goes. Bly's throw down to second is not in time.
That's a lot of speed there from Cook.
And Cook is banged up. Slow to get up at second after that stolen base.
You know, we haven't talked about this much because he is still in the lineup, but Colton Hartman was dealing through 5 and gets hit with a pitch in the top half of the inning. Does not come out in the bottom half to pitch. So you have to wonder if that getting hit by pitch, maybe it injured his arm a little.
One-oh count. That one on the ground to the left side. Rutherford will rifle that one over to first in time. Big time play from Mark Rutherford.
Solid defensively. Really nice plays for him checking in on the last few innings, but
ranging over to retire the side in the top half of the 9th for the Warriors. We will head to the bottom of the 9th. Comets looking to walk this thing off and send themselves to the regional final.
bottom of the 9th action here, high school baseball, the regional semifinals between the Mason Comets and the Lebanon Warriors. This one, we got free baseball. Nick Stroud will lead it off for the Comets, and back on the mound for Lebanon is Parker Dilhoff. Not a ton of offense so far into this one. It's a 3-3 score, but only 5 combined hits. First pitch, Stroud fouls off down the right side.
And the pitchers have been fantastic in this game, and it's been the two southpaws for the Warriors, starting off with Colton Hartman, who pitched a magnificent outing and then had to be pulled due to injury, and then Parker Dilhoff, who has come in relief of Jesse Dunlap, has also been fantastic.
2-1 count now on Stroud, and you got to think, no matter what the outcome of this one is, Moeller's happy a little bit that these two teams are burning some pitchers. They'll be a little tired. 2-1 count now on Garula. Stroud. Pops this one high in the air. Going to be a tough play for Will now to make, having to go all the way back, but makes the catch and the backstop for out number 1. Stroud's retired.
And that's the toughest play to make if you're a catcher, having to position yourself with your back towards the infield, make it like an outfield pop-up or an infield pop-up to where you can kind of catch that ball that doesn't spin out of your glove.
The catcher, number 9, Brady
And
Bly.
Will now doing just about as good a job you can making that play. And a huge out for the Warriors.
Up to the plate comes Brady Bly, senior catcher, a lefty. Looking to do anything to start a rally for this Comet squad. First pitch is outside for ball number 1 to him. Another one, ball 2. Brady can look for his pitch now. The 2-0, beautiful breaking ball on the outside corner.
And Dilhoff has really used that breaking ball to his advantage. He's commanded that well. Both pitchers for Lebanon had trouble with the fastball command, but the breaking ball command has been there.
2-1 check swing. No appeal. They will appeal. That's late. And they will say no swing there from Bly. Can imagine what the Mason faithful would have done if that was
We've
a strike.
We've certainly seen some accurate or some reactions that have depicted.
And Bly strikes that right at the second baseman. Leaping catch made there from Hodges. That's out number 2. Bly made solid contact, just not deep enough.
Hodges has had a tough game defensively, but he makes a huge play there. And unless West can get on base here, looks like we might be heading for extra innings major league style in the 10th inning.
No runner on second, though. Of course, that rule went away this year as well for MLB. First pitch to West inside for ball 1.
How about it, man? Regional semifinal action. We got an extra innings game coming down to the wire like this.
Wild pitch there. Luckily, no one on base.
This game has really had it all, except for extra base hits for the most part. Not a single extra base hit from either team. We've seen some.
We haven't seen a lot of solid contact in general. And we do have 6 combined hits. A few of those have been bloops, and a lot of strikeouts.
The solid contact has been, as we talked about a lot earlier on in this game as well, has been right at people. Both defenses have been fortunate.
West, another walk worked by Kevin West. A masterful night at the plate in terms of getting on base. And we can't talk about how big that is for the 8 spot when you can bring the 9-hole hitter up and then top of the lineup coming up after that. Here's Mark Rutherford. Has made a few terrific defensive plays. And he's someone, doesn't have the best batting average, but he has power. He has a lot of pop in his bat.
Rutherford,
if he can get a hold of one.
Yeah, one of the young stars on this team.
Dilhoff, pick-off move over to first base and not in time.
We saw Rutherford in last year's regional semifinal against Butler come up with a couple huge at-bats, had an RBI double in that game. And what a time it would be for one of those right now.
First pitch to him comes home, strike number 1. West has a lot of speed over at first. So extra bases for Rutherford could be huge. That one's in the dirt, ball 1. Couple of fastballs thrown to Rutherford.
And, of course, if you're Rutherford, you're looking just to get on base here, but you got to think that driving home that winning run on one swing of the bat is not exactly in the back of his mind.
And he fouls that one, smokes it down foul territory. And like you said, getting on, though, has got to be the number 1 priority. Now, Brendan Garula hasn't had the best night, but you still love the potential he has in the year he's had at the plate. He's on deck. And Comet fans and Warrior fans on their feet. 2 outs, 1 on. Mark Rutherford with a 1-2 count. Dilhoff comes set. The delivery fouled off by Rutherford. That one started high, but it broke a lot. And good for Rutherford to just stay alive. Count stays at 1 and 2.
You talk about the fatigue of the athletes in these situations. Certainly seems like the fans have settled down a little bit late in the game, but a hit here or a strikeout here would certainly rile them right back up.
1-2, that one smacked. Outfielders coming in. Right fielder will make that play for out number 3. We are heading to double digits. The 10th inning coming up here from Batavia, Ohio. Instant classic at the Midland Baseball Complex. Stay with us for the rest of this one.
It's the top of the 10th inning here at the Midland Baseball Complex. The Mason Comets and the Lebanon Warriors even at 3 runs apiece. It's been like this for the last 3 innings. Comets tying it with a couple of runs in the bottom of the 6th. And the pitching has been flawless for both squads ever since. And now Ty Beck, who's done most of the damage for the Warriors today, will step in against the righty Michael Murphy, yet to give up a run in his relief of Noah Samuel as he fires that one in the dirt.
Here we go.
And we're getting deep enough now. You got Murphy and Dilhoff came in late, but now you still got to start thinking about them going too long.
Right down the line, it's over the head of Hanley. Garula will get over to cut it off and hold back to a single.
That's a good way to lead it off, and that is the first hit any Warrior has had off of Michael Murphy tonight. He made good contact on that one right down the line. Hanley's a tall first baseman, but couldn't time it and make the catch. This one, the 7th combined hit from either team tonight.
Parker Dilhoff now started in right field for the Warriors. Currently on the bump. Would likely go back in the bottom of the 10th inning out to possibly finish the Comets if he can scratch across that run from first base.
Well, you had to think that Dilhoff would be the projected starter for tomorrow's game against Moeller, but in these situations you can't even think about tomorrow, just anything about winning this game in an elimination game.
Ball 2 in the dirt.
Comets have the luxury of having a pitcher like Michael Murphy in their bullpen.
2-0 count. Low and outside. And it's 3-0.
Man, Murphy's been relying on a lot of momentum, a lot of efficiency to keep him going through these innings, and now it's starting to fall off. A 3-0 count now. He's got to find himself.
Tie game at 3 apiece at a strike. 3-1. Beck leading off first. Swing and a miss. Murphy took a little off there. Dilhoff off balance.
You can tell by his composure when Murphy starts to feel himself on the mound. Hopefully that really nice swing and a miss gets him going.
He does that little walk around the mound and goes right back to business. The full count. Got him!
Are you kidding me, Michael Murphy? Even when you think he's down, he's got a 3-0 count. He fights back and has really been the star of this game for the Comets. I mean, what would they do without him in relief? And like we were talking about, not worrying about tomorrow, well, the Comets, when you have someone like Murphy in your bullpen, Garula, you could still have start tomorrow if things end soon.
Right field and deep! Hartman! It is caught! Brendan Garula!
He's going to double him up! At first!
Throw back to first base! Are you serious?
Are you kidding me, Brendan Garula? I cannot believe that catch he just made.
Brendan Garula, Willie Mays style on the warning track, and we will head to the bottom of the 10th inning. Unbelievable!
Bottom of the 10th, and Brendan Garula comes to the plate after that play he just made in right field. Ridiculous. And the ovation he got just from walking into the plate. Saving the Comets season. And he will lead off this inning. He's the leadoff hitter. So top of the lineup action for the Comets. And still Dilhoff on the mound for Lebanon.
Just a massive momentum shift in that top of the 10th inning. Lebanon got the first base runner on, and then Hartman, it looked like he possibly put that one over the right field wall, and Brendan Garula just goes back and makes an unbelievable catch to save the game for the Comets.
First pitch to Garula is outside for ball number 1.
And now he's got the rare opportunity to come right back out and win it here.
And he drills this one into left field, going back at the wall. And that is foul. Garula didn't even realize it was foul. He was round to the bases. This place would have erupted just a few feet foul. And Garula didn't even realize that. He gave that one a ride over the fence.
He'll get another opportunity here, the 1-1 count, but a great piece of hitting there from Garula, just a little too far out in front of that one. And now Dilhoff got to be a little bit more careful not to leave something across the plate. Garula certainly going up there with a certain confidence about him and an aggressiveness.
That one's off the outside corner. It's a 2-1 count. And that was definitely a breath of relief for Dilhoff. Another one on the outside corner. Hitters count for Garula. The 3-1. That one fouls off to the other side this time, just a little behind. Comets have made some really good contact here in the extra innings, but not able to plate anything. The 3-2. The payoff. Breaking ball, strike 3 on the outside corner. Garula frustrated with that call. May have been the right call. And Garula is sat down after almost ending this one.
And it looks like that looked more of a look of frustration for himself. That kind of a hanger there that he let go by.
That was a really good pitch there from Dilhoff. And here's Hanley.
You got another hitter right here. There's no rest with this 1 through 3 in the Comet lineup.
That one's way too high on the breaking pitch. Ball 1. And the 1-0 is grounded right back at Dilhoff off his glove. Going to be a tough play to make. Throw on. And that's safe. Jake Hanley gets to first on an error. Comets have a base runner with only 1 out.
And that's a tough play for Dilhoff. Nearly made the initial play, deflected off his glove. And then Cleaver, who's had that tough night defensively, unable to make the play.
And that's one of those plays where you can't blame anything on Dilhoff, but it's better for Lebanon if he lets that one go. That would have been a grounder to the shortstop. But you can't blame Dilhoff for trying to make that play.
And Hanley's got good speed at first. A gapper here likely would end it if Murphy can't deliver.
The RBI leader. That one's grounded right at the third baseman. This could be 2. Throw to second in time. Throw to first in time as well. Double play to end the bottom of the 10th. 11th inning. Here we come. Crazy bottom of the 10th inning. Instant classic here from Batavia, Ohio.
Top of the 11th here at Joe Hayden Field from the Midland Baseball Complex as Lebanon and the Comets of Mason remain tied at 3. And it'll be Logan Franz, the third baseman, to lead off the inning for the Warriors. Michael Murphy still going strong out there for the Comets, yet to give up a run in relief of the starter Noah Samuel.
And that was a wild bottom of the 10th there. Brendan Grula was a few feet away from ending it. And then Hanley got on, but the double play made by the man at the plate, Logan Franz.
Breaking ball catches the corner for Murphy. It's 0-1.
Logan Franz has had an up and down game defensively at third base.
On the ground towards the Comet dugout for strike 2.
But he has not got much going at the plate yet today. In the 7th spot.
0-2 the count to Logan Franz. High and inside. 1-2. Fouled out of play down the right field line.
Franz doing a good job of fighting off. We've seen a lot of two-strike foul balls in this one. Not a lot of great contact made overall in this game, but some hitters who are at least in at-bats.
The 1-2, foul to the backstop.
And we have officially run out of spots, run out of innings on the Midland scoreboard out here, so we're back to the top. Back to the first inning here on the scoreboard.
It's been a whole new ball game for the last 4 innings between these two squads. Just an amazing game. A pitcher's duel, dramatic defensive plays. Murphy, as Franz lifts that one, and Garula in right field nestles under it to make the play for out number 1.
And you mentioned a pitcher's duel, but it's been a pitcher's duel. Usually when you hear that, it's just 2 pitchers going at it, but there's been 5 or 6 or 4 or 5 combined in there from Mason and Lebanon, who you can credit to. Jack Cecil didn't quite have the outing he wanted, but between Dunlap, who came in relief for Hartman, and now Dilhoff on the mound for Lebanon, those 3 combined with Murphy and Samuel.
Andrew Cleaver, the first baseman, steps into the box and fouls that one off. Oh, 1 count to the big first baseman. Hitless on the day, has had a tough day defensively. Couple of errors. And a big swing and a miss there on the breaking ball.
There's that changing speeds we always rave about for Murphy. That first pitch of the at-bat was a fastball that Cleaver couldn't catch up with, and that time, breaking ball on the inside.
That breaking ball tails too far outside. Count moves to 1-2. Got him!
Another strikeout looking. Michael Murphy is painting corners, and another one Lebanon fans aren't too happy about. But his fastball, a lot of times, it's the velocity that fastball pitchers rely on. But Murphy's been able to rely on the velocity of it and the placement of it. A lot of times fastballs are not quite about placement and movement, but just the corners that he's been painting tonight.
In the dirt.
Here's Hodges.
Brock Hodges, the second baseman for the Warriors, batting in that 9 hole. Cook, the center fielder, on deck. That one outside. 2-0. Murphy collects himself.
Murphy's had a couple of moments where he's thrown a few balls, but it's been very streaky. Throwing a few balls in a row. Once he finds himself again, then he gets back solid.
2-0 the count to the second baseman. Fouls that one out of play. Likely ball 3. Instead, the count is 2-1. Two down in the inning. That one in the dirt and inside. 3-1 now. Hitters count for Brock Hodges.
Yeah, that time Murphy had a foul ball that he was able to get Hodges to be late on, but this couldn't come back with a strike, and now it's a hitter's count for him.
And he put him on.
Another 2-out walk. We talked about how many of those we've seen today. This Moeller baseball team still here. Watching this one. Seeing who they're going to play. Both teams will be tired. That game will come tomorrow, so not a whole lot of rest. Luckily here at Midland there are lights, so darkness would not be an issue. Here's Brady Cook.
Inside. One-0 the count to Cook. 2-0.
And if you're Murphy, you cannot lose the strike zone here. You put someone in scoring position, next thing you know, a single scores him. And all sorts of bad things can happen when runners are in scoring position. There are 2 outs, though.
Hodges leading off. Low and outside. And a 3-0 count.
Murphy's having to take a lot of time between pitches to collect himself, and that's very unlike him. He works very fast most of the time.
And a strike. And Kyle Cook didn't like the call.
It looked like Kyle Cook was almost halfway down first base. Thought that was ball 4.
Takes a look back at the Comet fan section and gives him a smile. We'll go to work now with a 3-1 count against the righty Murphy with Hodges on first. 2 down in the inning. Center field. West has to come in. Garula calls him off, leaps into the air to make the catch, and we will go to the bottom of the 11th. The game tied at 3 here at the Midland Baseball Complex. Stay tuned for the bottom of the 11th.
Top of the 11th, bottom of the 11th, excuse me. We're still playing baseball here in Batavia, the Midland Baseball Complex. A.J. Lefton leads off the inning for the Comets.
Lefton making his debut in the cleanup position in this Comets lineup. Has come through with a couple of hits today.
First pitch to Lefton's a little off the outside corner. It's 1-0. Dilhoff still on the mound for the Warriors. That one got away from him, ball 2.
And Dilhoff, as you go on these innings, we saw it a little bit with Murphy in the top half of the inning. Control could certainly become an issue as fatigue grows. We'll see if that affects Dilhoff as much as it did Murphy. As he
2-0, another
Lefton.
breaking pitch, and that hits Lefton, and Lefton is down. That hit him on the ankle, it looked like. And the trainers will run out to check on him, but he's going to get up and walk his way down to first. Lefton does not want to come out of this game, and the Comets now have 2 on with no out, or 1 on with no out.
That's toughness there from A.J. Lefton. And he's the winning run now, and you've got the young gun Alex Kelling.
Left fielder, number 31, Alex Kelling.
Now here's Kelling. Hasn't done much of the plate today, but a lot of Comets haven't really done much of the plate today. But they keep Lefton at first base. They don't pitch run for him after the injury. If that injury still lingers, that could affect some movement on the base paths.
Bly was giving him a look to see if he wanted to be pinch run for, but he's going to stay put.
Kelling lays to bunt. He's going to pull that back, but it's a strike anyway. That would have been a good one for him to put down the line. And he does lay down a bunt, and that is strike number 2, so that bunt's not likely neutralized. And now it's 0-2 with 1 on, no out. Nick Stroud on deck.
And you basically sacrifice 2 strikes there trying to lay that bunt down, and you put yourself in a tough position because obviously the bunt foul is a strikeout.
And that one got away from Will now. Lefton will move up to second. Now a runner in scoring position with no one out for the Comets.
And this is about as good of an opportunity as the Comets have had since the 7th to win this game. You've got Stroud on deck for the lefty-righty matchup if Kelling's not able to come through here. But we've seen the control issues from Dilhoff have cost him now 2 bases to A.J. Lefton.
1-2. Kelling still at the plate. Off the outside corner, counts even. That was a fastball. Just a little bit outside.
That's a tough pitch to hold up on if you're Alex Kelling.
Now any hit could score Lefton.
Good patience there from the sophomore.
2-2 count. That one's in the dirt, and now Lefton gets to third. Will now had trouble with that one. No outs and a runner on third. A sacrifice of any sort will get the job done.
And now Lebanon's got to play with the infield in. And a full count here.
Possibility of bringing a 5th infielder in. They'll let it play. It's Kelling with a full count, runner on third, no one out. In the bottom of the 11th, the sophomore. Ball number 4 in the dirt, runners on the corners now. He had Kelling 0-2 after the 2 attempted bunts and walked him on 4 straight. Here comes Nick Stroud.
And this Comet fan section starting to stir a little bit, sensing possibly the breakthrough that the Comets have been needing for the past couple innings. down 3-0 in this game, fought back to tie it in the 6th, and have kept Lebanon scoreless for the better portion of this game. And a chance to win it now.
First pitch to Stroud is high for ball 1. That's 5 straight balls dealt from Dilhoff. Stroud's a junior, has had that starting second baseman role all year, has seen many different parts of the lineup.
This is a tough position for Dilhoff. Can't leave anything across the plate.
And a catcher's indifference as that runner doesn't matter. A stolen base taken from Kelling. Now it's second and third with no outs. Stroud with a 1-1 count. That one's in the dirt, almost got away from Will now. He did a really good job of keeping that in front of him.
Yeah, you could tell he could sense the urgency now. He let those few get by him earlier. But with that runner on third, anything behind him is the Warriors' season coming to an end.
2-1. Stroud at the plate. This one, a high chopper. The runner's going to stay at third, throw over to first. Almost a missed throw, and he's safe. Cleaver had to come off the bag. He didn't get back in time. So runners do not advance, but Stroud takes first. And now bases are loaded with 0 outs, and Brady Bly is at the plate.
I almost wonder if Lefton would have been able to score on that play. Such a high chopper. But Dilhoff took his time a little bit too much, maybe thrown off there by Lefton not trying to score. He was focused too much on the runner at third, and then Cleaver's woeful defensive day continues at first base. And now we're having a conversation between a member of the Lebanon coaching staff and the umpire making the call.
They're going to talk it over. I can't imagine. I don't know what there could be to change a call here unless Stroud was safe for a reason.
Can you imagine the outrage if they reverse this call?
I mean, there's no review in high school baseball. Obviously, we don't even have cameras here tonight with the bad Wi-Fi. And they call stands safe at first. Bases loaded, no outs for Brady Bly.
And how about this? Head coach's son, Brady Bly, with a chance to send the Comets to the regional final.
It won't take much. First pitch is low for ball number 1.
And nowhere for Dilhoff to put Bly. A walk ends the game. And he's had those control issues in this inning, and with the bases loaded, it would end it.
And that one's in there for strike number 1. If you're a Bly, one of the biggest things you want to avoid is a strikeout. Strikeouts and double plays. Well, double plays would score one here, so it's just strikeouts. And that one gets past Mill now. The Comets are heading to the regional finals. A wild pitch. A.J. Lefton comes home to score, and on a marathon of a night, the Comets defeat the Lebanon Warriors. They were down 3-0 in the 4th inning, and there was a wild pitch. Control issues from Parker Dilhoff, and the Comets just kept battling and battling. No extra base hits in this one from either team, but the final is 4-3.
Final score in 11 innings. Mason Comets.
What a scene here at the Midland Baseball Complex. What a game. Unbelievable comeback by the Comets. Drama, defensive web gems all over the place. And A.J. Lefton, probably the MVP of this game, coming through with a couple base hits, reaching base on the hit by pitch, coming all the way around to score on 3 wild pitches. He got around the bases on 3 separate wild pitches, and he ends the game there. Unbelievable game.
My MVP picks got to go to Michael Murphy. Came in relief for this one. Noah Samuel struggled, shut the Warriors offense down. And they will take on Moeller in the same exact spot tomorrow at 5 o'clock for the regional finals. A trip to Akron on the line. Stay tuned for broadcast status of that one. Likely will be the same as tonight. an audio stream with a scoreboard. But from tonight, Comets come back to win in 11 innings, 4-3. Have a good night from everyone. I'm Ben Haller alongside Addison